Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be continuing on with our iOS development series with UIKit by talking about why you should learn UIKit. Now, in the previous video we talked a little bit about what UIKit actually is. Alright, so in short, to summarize, UIKit is the original user interface framework used, and that is still being used, for building iOS, watchOS, and tvOS applications. It can run on the Mac if you want it to, and you could build Vision OS apps for it. You can build Vision OS apps with it, but that's besides the point, right? So let's talk about why you should use UIKit. I talked a little bit about this in the last video when we talked about what UIKit is, but the first reason is that if you want a job in the next year, 2 years, 2.5 years maybe, you are going to need to learn UIKit, right? UIKit is the dominant UI framework still being used in iOS apps in particular, and if you don't know it, you're gonna be hard pressed to find an iOS developer position. So learning UIKit is fundamental. If you want to learn SwiftUI first, by all means do it, but I still recommend that after SwiftUI, if you choose SwiftUI first, to learn UIKit. Okay? So the second reason is that UIKit is much more customizable than SwiftUI. SwiftUI is very opinionated about how it does things. It does a lot of the stuff for you instead of letting you customize a lot of it. But with UIKit, you have much more fine-grained control over how your app functions, how the state is updated, how things look, how things are arranged. Just generally speaking, you have much more fine-grained control over your functionality and look and feel of your app in UIKit. So if that interests you, if you want the most amount of control possible, then UIKit is probably the way to go. Okay? And third, really UIKit has a lot more possibilities in terms of its API integration. You can integrate, and don't get me wrong, you can integrate any of Apple's APIs with SwiftUI, but unless there is some kind of SwiftUI-ish idiomatic way, right, of doing it, it's going to be a little bit of a headache. It's going to be a lot more work in SwiftUI to be able to integrate with those frameworks. For example, for the longest time in SwiftUI, MapKit was really difficult, right, to integrate with SwiftUI, because you had to make your own views that conform to UI view representable, and then, you had to write all this other code depending on what you wanted to do with your maps, and it was a lot of work. However, with UIKit, it's a little less painless to integrate with it. And so that is similar with a lot of frameworks that Apple has. Some of them are out of the box a lot easier to work with in SwiftUI, but again, sometimes you'll still have to reach down to UIKit to do anything with them. So if you know UIKit, you're gonna have a much easier time. You won't have to struggle trying to figure out how the heck to do something. So those are my top 3 reasons why you should learn UIKit. 1, better, easier API integration. Second, the job market is looking for more UIKit developers than SwiftUI. And 3, you have much more fine-grained control over your app's functionality and its look and feel. So that does it for this video, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.